So day 2 of this job. It rained a pretty good bit yesterday when I left. As you can see how much water's in there. That's probably, of course it's running this way, it's probably about 1.5 inches deep of water. So what's probably going to happen is, I think it's supposed to be hot today, I think. So what's probably going to happen is it's going to be dry and it's going to be sticky, and then it's going to dry out and it's just going to be a nightmare. So it's going to be a sticky, pasty, dusty nightmare on top of all that. So but we're going to let the machine warm up. Of course we got to track all the way over on the back side of here, so ain't no big deal. We're going to let everything warm up. Going to go ahead and grease while we're at it. I really need to sharpen those knives, but we ain't gonna do it because it's already beaten enough from the rocks. So but anyway, just get everything greased and going, and we'll head over. I about drove away without filling up. That'd have been a long ways to drive to figure I got to come back. But I got a new hose reel and I got a new end where I don't have to do all this right here. I mean, it's about gone. I've got a awful headache. I think it's from the dust from yesterday, and I didn't eat till dinner time. So I ate a honey bun this morning to take my medicine with, and then I ate Gino's pizza. I don't think it's getting close, but anyway, we on to oh, also got a new wiring thing. That way I can use the auxiliary switches in the truck to turn it on. Anywho, let's get this filled up and we'll start mulching. the next customer to go and try to like bush hog or whatever, and they get hit with one of these right here. So I'd rather just take a few minutes to take it out. I've got some cool clients. I gotta fix my light. I guess the tree smacked it, but we got a lot done. I mean, we pretty much started on this lower side, pretty much right in there on that upside. We've got all this done right at around lunchtime. So I'm gonna finish this up. The customer just brought me some lunch. I mean, he brought me big old sandwich, chips, snacks. I mean, he said I brought enough for you all day. So I mean, awesome, pretty awesome clients. But so I'm gonna probably set the tripod up. I actually brought it and I forgot about it. I try to get good content, but it's hard doing it by yourself. So anyway, he told me to get this done and this, and then we're gonna start on the knoll on the lower side. But he told me there's a little deer or a little fawn over there, just sits around over there all the time. So I'm gonna sit here and grab me something to eat real quick, and then we'll set up right here, mulch all this, mulch the rest of this, and then that lower side. And he wants me to push on the lower side of the property, so I'm gonna be pushing it to get this and this done by the end of the day, because it's so spread out. If it was all one location, it'd be all right. So I'm having to bounce around little patches and hit small patches to open up the whole property like this is. So looking pretty good. So we're going to keep on mulching, and we'll be back to do another 2 days in a couple weeks. So we finally getting some work coming in. So hopefully it can stay like that. Well, we found the tires that he was talking about, but I thought it was the ones that was over there. So we got 2 tires. I hit one while ago, wrapped it up, but it took me like 3 seconds to knock it out. But it's way over next to that long log. But so what we got left, I should be able to get this and then kind of cleaned up a little bit of like the tree limbs and stuff like that, kind of where he'll be able to come in and clean it up. But I think I pushed all those out of there. So my plan is to get all this pushed up over there into there, and then kind of come in right in here and just kind of push it in a little bit. But we'll need to get going now, that way we can make time. So, but yeah, we ain't got much left. We'll just kind of clean up what we can right here, and then try to push this lower side. So the property line is those trees right there shooting down. So he said as long as I can get a path down into the property line, so he'll be happy with that. So but let's get to it. All right, so push the lower line past this right here is a bunch of rocks, and I hit one of those right there. But there's some rocks behind that tree. I pushed that out of the way. Which I didn't get none of that, which he can bush hog some of that stuff. I tried to push it with a mulcher, but it didn't want to go. But I mean, this right here, I pushed that lower side down there. I got the pond down, which took a bit. So we're going to go on the lower, or the front lower side of the pond, and clean that up to get him started. That side, or the, can't even think of the pin popped out of the mulcher. I noticed when it hit a rock and it popped up. So I noticed when it popped up, I was like, that's loose. But this is not as good as I want it to be, but best it's going to get with being rocky. But anyway, we're going to go take some pictures, and then we're going to head out and we'll mulch for another 15 minutes, and then we'll load up. Here's the front side. Don't look like much, but when it's scattered out, it tends to be a lot. So I'd say at least 3 acres mulch scattered out. Looks pretty good. So when the customer gets his tractor fixed, he's going to come out here and try to push some of these over, stuff like that. But as of right now, we pushed a bunch of those. I tried, but it's right there at the bottom, it's hard. Still hard as a rock, so we have to cut those.